Did you get it? Sit. So this is a bear roast. There's two small roasts here actually. I'm cooking them both. So all I'm adding is salt, pepper, pepper flakes, garlic and onion. And it's about 4 o'clock right now, so I'm going to just put that on top of the wood stove for about 2.5 hours till that's cooked all the way through. Bear can carry trichinosis, which is a parasite that pigs used to carry in North America quite a bit, and probably wild ones still do. So you have to cook it thoroughly all the way to 180 degrees or more. So that's what I'll do. I'll put that on the stove until it's cooked all the way through, but probably, well, not all the way through. So about halfway through, what I'll do is add carrots, beets, and potatoes, and those can cook right in the pot with the roast. So put that on now, and then I'm going to do something else with some beef tallow that I have. I'll show you how to render it. Alright, that's the last of the fat cut into little pieces. So what I did is I pulled all the membrane off of the fat and then cut it down to like 1-inch cubes or smaller, so that the fat renders, it melts rather than burns. So what I want to do is basically get rid of all the solids out of the fat. So we're separating the oil and the solids. So what I'll end up with is the oil, and that'll harden back up again and become basically lard. And that can be used, I can use that for all kinds of things. I'll use it for cooking. Makes great replacement for lard or vegetable shortening. In pastries, in creams and stuff. I'll use it for face cream, but also use it for waterproofing some of my leather stuff. So very, very useful stuff. It's probably it's definitely as valuable. I'd say it's probably more valuable than the meat. A lot of calories in here and a lot of uses for it. So put that on the stove, and I need to just keep an eye on it to make sure that it doesn't burn. If it burns, it gives it an off flavor. So I want to slowly simmer this. I put a little bit of water in the bottom just so it wouldn't burn, but you don't actually need that once the grease fills the bottom of the pan. As long as you don't overheat it too much, that grease will melt everything else down without it burning. So I'll find a place on the stove right now beside the roast. That's starting to smoke actually. So that was done. Yeah, big time. So once those cracklings, which is what they are now basically, it's the fat that all the liquid fat's been rendered out of, so it's mostly solids left. Once that starts to smoke, then it's done. I actually was just clearing this pan so I can use it for something else, but just happened to time it exactly right. I was wondering why there was a little bit of smoke in the air. So I'll strain that off after I've got everything else going here. Said. This is a bear roast with potatoes, carrots, gravy, and cornbread. I think I've only made cornbread once in my life, and I think it was from a package actually. So I think it could have been cooked a little bit longer, but I think that oven setup actually works quite well. That's a turkey roaster. I've had that for years and years and years. It's been up here since I started. I think I actually cooked out or did dishes in it. Yeah, I've been using that for camping dishes for decades, I guess, with my daughters and my wife. And now, and as soon as I started coming up here, I brought it up to the property, so it's been here for that amount of time. Never thought to use it as an oven though, so that worked out perfectly. A few people have asked what bear tastes like. It's very much like roast beef. In fact, I've served it many times to people that had no idea what it was. They didn't ask. They didn't care really. You know, when they know when I'm cooking that it's a good chance that it's going to be wild game. But they just assumed it was roast beef, and that's what it tastes like. It's very lean, most of it, and you just have to cook it well, which normally with roast or with beef I would make it more rare. But like I mentioned earlier, there's parasites that potentially bear has parasites that you need to kill by heating it up to a high temperature. So if you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it. Bears are very populous in Ontario and in a lot of parts of Canada, so they're a very sustainable game animal.